man is defined by what the culture says. So I really enjoy sports, but I know I go out of my way to look up more in-depth things about sports. I'll try to remember names of people that I otherwise wouldn't remember, and I'll still look on ESPN in the morning to see what the scores of the games were. Partially because I'm interested in knowing myself, just because I'm fans of teams, but other times because I know people are going to ask about it or talk about it the next day. I know guys are going to ask about it and talk about it the next day.
Yeah.
So I'll go out of my way to do those things. I don't know if it's just because I go to school at Roger Williams, but I see myself as a guy, as a little bit different from normal guys, caring about, like, I care about art. I don't go out of my way too much to know artists, because that's what I don't really need that in my day-to-day life interacting with other guys. But I appreciate art, which is something I think I get other guys look down on me for caring that much about aesthetics, and caring so much about anthropology and sociology and social issues and social science is frowned upon by the most manly of men.
Humanities is seen as maybe not a masculine thing to study.
Yeah. So sometimes if you're talking to a construction management person, they'll ask what your major is, and you'll almost feel like they're judging you based on what your major is. And a lot of ways of sensing judgment is one man, between men at least, is one man questioning how manly the other man is. There's a lot of man in that sentence. But guys, you disrespect a guy by telling him he's not manly. That's the biggest insult you can do. And even subtle, when you're having a conversation with someone, they can slip in subtle things to make you feel less manly, and in turn get you angry at the other person, because you don't want anyone to question how manly you are. And so even small things like social issues or humanity as a whole is something I care about. There's definitely been times where people have made me feel like less of a man for caring about those things.
Can you think of anything right now?
Tsunami in Japan. Or the Japan earthquake. I was really interested, and I had the news on, and I was upset by it, and Mark didn't give a shit really about it. So I was empathizing with these families I saw on TV, and he completely disconnected it because it wasn't part of his world. And when he asked why I was watching it, I said, this is a horrible tragedy. He goes, and he didn't seem to care at all. And he almost questioned my manhood in empathizing that hard with someone else, or with a group of people who had such a terrible tragedy. He didn't really think of it that way. He didn't think of it, the loss of life, as something important. And I felt like he was judging my manhood because I cared about that. So that's the most recent example.
I mean, even just by simply asking you, why are you watching this?
Yeah.
You felt it was kind of like a dig, maybe.
Yeah.